I think this P9 Speedy is kind of like living rent free in my brain. I'm just kind of like, let's get going. Hey y'all, I'm Nikki Olukoya. If you're new here, welcome. I talk about all things luxury here, especially handbags. In today's video, we're going to talk about, I guess I'm feeling the influence or something about this Speedy P9. And if you've been here before, hey sis, welcome back. Listen, I think sometimes, I know these are really like first world problems. I'm not coming on here to say that is not, but when you're in the handbag community or in this handbag world, you just feel a lot of things, and you're constantly watching like fashion shows and you watching handbags, whether it's on Instagram or on TikTok. You have to admit that sometimes it's like you desire more bags and it's like you want them all. And I don't know. All right, let's talk about this P9 Speedy because I know I mentioned it before in a previous video that I was really worried about whether if is this all the hype right now or what's going on, because the price tag of the P9 is really expensive. And to me, it's like an Hermes, Birkin, or Kelly price. And a part of me is like, okay, if I do go ahead and get this handbag in the next 5, 16 years, will it be worth more? I don't know. A lot of Louis Vuitton bags don't really hold their value that much or for even that long. Like, for example, the Murakami collection. You can go back and buy older Murakami from when like the first release, and it's less. Like everyone is jumping on this multicolor one, and I see them resell for a whole lot lower than what the re-releases come out, and it's so expensive. And I'm just like, is it better just to wait? I mean, I don't know. I saw on the Real that the yellow P9, which is what I like, but we're going to get into it. The yellow P9 size 25 was actually under retail. And they had it going for, I think, 91. It's not a whole lot under retail, but what does that tell us? Does it tell us that maybe we should wait until some of the hype dies down to get the bag? Because I'm thinking that's kind of what I initially wanted to do. But because I'm on Instagram and because I'm on TikTok and I'm on Pinterest and I keep seeing the P9, and the more color that I see, the more colorways that have come out, I'm starting to really get into it. I'm surprised. I don't have, first of all, I am not a huge Louis Vuitton lover. I know a lot of the girlies here on YouTube are. More power to you, right? And I'm not a huge Louis Vuitton lover, but I do like Louis Vuitton. And like I said before, I'm not even a huge fan of the Speedy, but for some reason, this P9 got me in a chokehold. What's up? And there are a couple colors that I know I really do like. And I know so far, you know what? I think I'm okay with either a 25 or a 30. I really am. And there are about 3 colors that have really taken my attention. I watched a lot of YouTubers from even last year when they got their handbags. A lot of people were unboxing the turquoise P9 size 25s. I saw a lot of the red P9s and 25s. I saw a lot of the green ones, size 25. None of those colors, I guess, turned me on. But you never say never. Some things can change. Like I know I said in a previous video that, the gold on gold, the Hermes gold on gold doesn't turn me on. I wouldn't gravitate to those colors. But I saw a couple pictures on Instagram where I'm thinking, ooh, this gold on gold. especially in a Kelly. I think maybe that's what it was. I think the gold on gold Birkin wasn't it for me, but the gold on gold Kelly T. Now that's on my list. It wasn't on my list before. Before I'm looking at getting a Birkin 25 and Cellier. Now I'm looking at the Kelly 25 gold on gold. And all these bags are really expensive. So I'm trying to tell myself, don't buy anything else in case we end up getting either a Kelly 25 or we end up getting a P9 or we end up getting both, because I don't want to make any small purchases that's going to eventually add up to what I would have spent had I gotten the bag that I wanted. I learned it from my husband to stop making these little buys and to save up that money and get one big buy. And that's starting to feel like what I want to do because I'm leaning into this P9. Sis, we leaning into this P9. The Hermes Kelly 25 gold on gold is definitely on my list. I don't have any more leaning to do. I am in it. But the P9 I'm leaning into. So let's get into the Speedy just in general. I have these bags. I brought them out because, as you know, the Gucci Boston bag is very similar to the Louis Vuitton Speedy bags, right? And this is what I got. And honestly, I really like this size, but I'm also transitioning into bigger bags as well. I like bigger bags now, as well as my smaller bags. The reason why I think I'm liking bigger bags these days is because I can use them for everyday going to work, and some even transition into nighttime. And I've just learned that my day to day is really me being with the kids, me going to work, and sometimes a bigger bag does suit my lifestyle better. I do want to get a Kelly. Look at me. I'm always talking about Hermes. Let's bring this back, Nikki. I'm still in the fog, clearly. But anyways, I'm peeking out of my Hermes fog to look at the Louis Vuitton stuff. And anyway, so Gucci Boston bag is very similar to the Louis Vuitton Speedy bag. And when I first got this, I wanted the size, but I'm definitely okay with getting a bigger bag. Honestly, this handbag here, the Neo Speedy, I got this back in college over about 20 years ago. It's patina. It's not, there's a little bit of hardly any tarnishing. I got some pen marks on here. There's a food stain on the bottom. But I actually wear this bag too. I like it for this size. Honestly, any handbag that can fit my iPad mini is going to always be a score for me because I do like to record content and I like to have it out when I go out with my kids. And honestly, having a bag that can hold not just my essentials, but my iPad mini and my Pocket 3, it's a score for me. So I think that's why I've been kind of leaning into these larger size bags. And this Neo Speedy from, I want to say either early 2000s is great. And we do know that the hardware on Louis Vuitton, I feel like now it tarnishes too. So I really like how the P9 Speedies don't have the really shiny gold. It's like an aged gold. And I think I like that. Don't know whether that's going to tarnish or not. I can't say for sure, but I know like their shiny gold can. Like I said before, I really feel like the older Louis Vuitton handbags from a long time ago, I don't know, the gold is still gold. Like I bought this bag in college and the gold, like so like very little, like just a little bit, maybe like in here, but the gold is still very much gold. Like the golds around the handles. I'm just looking at the handbag like all my gold hardware on here has not tarnished. And it's out. I don't keep it in a dust bag or nothing. So it's out in the air, humidity, whatever. It has not tarnished. But I know that the newer Louis Vuitton handbags and their accessories, their gold, it tarnishes. It does. And so that's why I'm always kind of on the fence about Louis Vuitton. What I'm going to do with my Louis Vuitton bag. But this P9, would kind of be like my third Speedy. And I don't even remember what size this Neo Speedy is. I can probably find some information and link it kind of down below. We can talk about it if you have one to share it. But I know that this was the Nano handbag, Boston bag, I think, or the mini. It's either the mini or the Nano from Gucci. You can find it on the website. I'll link it down below. And now I want a bag that's kind of going to be in the middle or even a little bit bigger is fine, because the bag that I've been carrying this week has been this bag. Another big bag, and it can fit everything that I need when I'm going out with the kids. This is my Louis Vuitton artsy bag. And, I tried to dress it up with some charms. My Fendi little charm is going to be on there. And I got a twilly that I kind of tied on here. It's not the best. I know I can dress it up a little bit more. But this is my LV artsy bag, and I love that bag right now. And I've been carrying it around because I've been leaning more into my bigger bags. And so let's get into my issue. Okay, so my issue is that the thing about the P9 is that I do like it. There are 3 colors that I am leaning into. My only issue with the price is I don't know whether it's going to hold its value. I think the price is based on Pharrell still being the creative director. I feel like the price is also based on the hype. Don't get me wrong, it is not a canvas bag. It is a full leather bag, just like how our Hermes bags are all full leather. So I totally get it. But I really feel like the Speedy P9 really would have rested or been priced well at maybe between $4,000 to $5,000. Comment down below what you think. That's just what I think about it. I think it's extremely high in price. I do want to get one, but only at a really good price. I have to get a P9 at a really good price. That's the only way I think I'm going to be able to get one. And I want to get one under retail. It may not be a lot, but I'm willing to look on different markets. I'm going to learn about StockX and Vestiaire Collective. And I know there's other places to buy Preloved. And I know that I have my Fashion File, my Rebag, and in the Real Real. I saw a good price on the Real Real. It's definitely in the running. But because I want to get this at the best price possible, I am going to open up myself to different Preloved markets to get one. So there are 3. I keep saying this now. We coming now full circle. There are 3 P9 Speedies that I do like. And I'm probably going to insert a picture either here or over here. The first one that I really, really like is the yellow P9 size 25. I really do like that bag. I think it's very summer, it's very bright. And to me, I like it because it's also very close to the vachetta leather. Sometimes I think that the vachetta leather is very hard to style. So anyways, I think the yellow one is the closest to the vachetta leather. Even though those are treated, I feel like the colors just go better. It's a better blend. That makes sense. Okay, the second one that I really like is the Summer Peach in the size 25. I think that is so cute. Once again, the peach and the leather kind of go hand. They're very complementary, like the yellow one. And I think that's why I'm leaning into those colors more. Even though they're kind of spring, summer, which I think is fine because I'm going to try to use my bags on rotation. But I like the Summer Peach. I think is very similar to the leather. I think they're very complementary. I think that's the better word. I think they're very complementary. And I think that's why I'm leaning into those colors. The last P9 that I really do like is I want to say it's green Sancha or is Sancha. I'll put a picture somewhere here. Size 30. I like the color of the leather here. I do. I'm not a huge fan of contrast stitching. No. But if it goes well, I think I can grow to like it. I don't want to rule a handbag out because of contrast stitching. Like the Hermes Gold on Gold is contrast stitching. But I don't know, all the videos and pictures that I've seen, it's almost like you can barely notice. So I think I'm just hyper focused on the stitching, and I don't think I need to be. So the Sancha P9 I think is really, really nice. That leather detail to me is what draws me to the bag the most. And I have been looking for some type of green And that to me is like the perfect, like olive color, I think it is. And I mentioned wanting an olive color bag in a previous video that I did here. And I really like that. The whole combo just gives me autumn, fall. I can see myself even wearing that in the evenings, or even, I can see myself wearing the handbag, maybe even year round, just at different times of the day. It is a size 30, which is awesome. I can put whatever I need in it for work, whatever I need in it for the daytime, running around with the kids or running around for errands. And then they all have straps, which is even better. Sis, I don't know. I really like that P9. I think if it was a 25, perfect. But I'll definitely take it in a 30. And another thing with the P9s that I am kind of worried about is the slouch. It is because, of course, on these, the smaller bags don't have that much slouch. Like the 25s don't have too much slouch, like the 30s. But I think I may still get a base shaper for it just in case. I have one in my Birkin 30 and I don't know whether it'll fit. It may not fit if I get one. I may have to buy a separate one. But I think I may end up getting a base shaper. I really don't want the bag to start to droop as I put things in there. There's something in here now, but it doesn't have like a lot of drooping. Maybe a little bit, not a lot of droop. But because that leather is so soft and supple, it does tend to hang at the bottom, especially the 30s and the 40s. I do want that 30, the green Sancha one. I'm just worried about the slouch. If I get a 25, maybe it'll be more experimental. I will see first how it does. But don't be surprised if I put a base shaper in there so I can just maintain the shape. I know the whole point is that the leather is so soft and it's so supple and it just collapses. And it's just the best thing. It's a slouchy bag. But I realize that I do like a little bit more of a structured uniform bag, just a little bit, and so I think that's why I would probably get a base shaper for it. I don't mind it collapsing when I set it down, but as I'm holding it and we're going around with it, I definitely don't want it to have a saggy bottom. No, I don't want that. So yeah. Let's cross our fingers, y'all. Let's see. Who knows when it will be. I'm just shopping around and my goal is to add one of those pieces to my collection. And I guess we'll see from there. Hopefully I'm not buying it just for the hype and for the influence. I don't think I am, because I only have really only 3 specific colors that I like. I have seen the other colors, but they didn't take my attention anyway. I saw a lot of reds and just the red with the leather and green with the leather. Honestly, that fuchsia was really nice, but it doesn't come in a smaller size. And I think that's what ruled out that bag for me. But I think had that fuchsia pink been in a 25, I think I would have leaned into that when it first released. But I'm okay with buying it pre-loved, and I'm okay with me getting it below retail. So once again, I'm going to scour the internet again. Try to see how I can get the one that I want. But anyway, thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you back in my next one. Bye.